Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What up, though? Sound card issue is fixed.
Nice.
We got Dwayne Keene, MDE, and Nick Burton in the chat already. We're rolling. So I heard that they ran out of condoms at the Olympics, and I think I know the reason why. Anthony Edwards posted this. This is Jake Paul's wife. I don't care what her name is. I think her mom should have named her Cialis. That's the cure for ED right there. I've never been jealous of another man's wife, of another man having a wife before until now. RBF, good to see you. Yes, the sounds are back. Therapy starts again, MDE. But yes, she 100% is the reason why condoms have disappeared in Italy at the Olympic Sports City. My Lord, I don't think those ripped. I think they melted. She's so hot. That being said, on to other news. We know that the Cheetah, Bradley Chubb, and Daniels. No, that's not an AI picture. Good to see you, Glenn. I just like making people laugh, and that's my goal. You know, it's funny. I think she's the poster child to cure ED. I think her mom should have named her Cialis. That being said, thank you, Richard Head. Again, she's so hot, I think those leggings melted. They didn't tear when she fell on her bum. Lindsey Vaughn is doing well. She's recovering well. Her sister is helping her out at the hospital, making sure she's fed, going through rehab properly. What a terrible break for her, literally. I mean, the ACL and everything else. 42 years young. Yeah, I would. But, so on to other things. Like I said, the Cheetah, Bradley Chubb, and Daniels, all the guard Daniels, all released by Miami. There's a fire sale there. People are saying, "Oh, it cost them money." I was like, "No, it's a void year." Some people should be named Saltpeter. Yes. We'll leave that one alone too. But it is great to see 8 people watching. Make sure you smash that like button, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, or Rumble, as well as YouTube. I appreciate all of you being here. That being said, is Bradley Chubb a fit? He just recovered from an ACL tear at the beginning of the offseason. He had 8.5 sacks. He's going to be 31 years old. We already have a 31-year-old that was more productive on this roster. If you ask me, I'd rather give less to AQM than to overpay for Bradley Chubb. That's just me. More than likely, Jeff Hafley looks like he's cleaning house. I think they're going on a full-on rebuild to give himself 3 years. Too bad her boyfriend is such a douchebag. I can't stand the Paul brothers. They are almost, but not quite, completely worthless, much like the Kardashians. I don't disagree with you. Um, I try not to get into the political side of things. I just thought I should agree with Anthony Edwards that she's probably the reason they're out of condoms. There's probably a lot of ugly women getting hammered due to her. She cured world ED with that picture. Oh no. There they go, changing my avatar again. Those bastards. There. Didn't want to eat on camera. At least not take a bite on camera. I think it's rude. Even though it is lunchtime. A lot of people call this lunchtime Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. But it's amazing. Tua is done in Miami, I think, Nick. He should be retired anyway due to concussion. One more and he may be done anyway. One more and he'll be eating applesauce and pudding through straws the rest of his life. Um, there comes a time when it's time to hang it up. And we all know the one year there was 4 registered concussions when it should have been 5 because he had one early in the game and came back after halftime and then got laid out at the end of that game and ended up missing 3 weeks to come back. I, I, I don't think he should have ever returned after that season. But technically, he got more efficient the following year. He didn't have a concussion. I think he was like at a 72% passing completion percentage. Well, granted, most of them were slant routes and check downs and screens. The fact that it was 72% was an amazing uptick for him. He's always been accurate. He just doesn't have a big arm for downfield. Most of that is all yards after catch from Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and company. You would think he would use his tight ends more. I mean, Jonnu Smith ended up being pretty good at Pittsburgh last year, and he put up better numbers than he did with Miami. That being said, again, I don't think Bradley Chubb is a fit for Detroit. I don't think Tyreek Hill is a fit for Detroit unless you're trading away someone. And it's the 5th-year option for JMO this year. It does not save money to get rid of him. It's the 2nd year of Amon-Ra's contract. And if you restructure him even, it's already more dead cap than it is salary cap this year. So when you restructure him, you're going to increase the dead cap value. So that doesn't save us money. You cannot practice either one of those guys in a trade. And I'm not trading away a guy that just scored 6 touchdowns as a rookie with limited usage. So Khalif Raymond more than likely is a free agent unless they work out a deal for him to come back. And he's in his 30s. He's starting to lose a step. He's not as proficient in the kick return as he was. That's why we re-signed Jacob Sailors to a futures contract, who did much better. And Tom Kennedy even did better in kick returns than Khalif this year. Tom Kennedy, the camp cockroach, the guy that just won't die. We release him, he gets waived, goes away, we sign him back, he becomes active and produces every time for 8 straight seasons. And maybe it's just time to sign him to the active roster as the 4th wide receiver. It may be time in his career He's been healthy. He doesn't get hurt. I mean, he had 1 year where he got hurt with a calf strain that kept him out, and then we brought him back right after he was healed. With seeing the way we've used Tom Kennedy in his career, I'm amazed that nobody has picked him up on waivers when we put him on him. 7 straight seasons. Waived, comes back, hits the practice squad, gets activated, and nobody picks him up. Wow. The mic is a lot better with the new board, evidently. So we got 53 people signed to our roster. Technically, we have an active roster, but let's remember a lot of those are futures contracts for practice squad players. I agree, and I don't think they will. Remember, the team re-signing period started today. This also starts the day when franchise tags are to be decided, and that has to be done by March 3rd. So all of that has 2 weeks. And I personally would almost sign either Laporta or Branch to the franchise tag. That gives you another year to work out a deal with either one of them. Both of them are coming back off of injury. We already worked out the deal with Kirby Joseph, and he may start the season on the IR. Guys we could pick up in free agency. Unrestricted free agent, Iffy. Iffy is familiar with our team, but not the new concept on defense, but has worked well in spot starts. If we're bringing him in to cover for Joseph or Branch for, let's say, 6, 7 weeks, I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's a very smart thing to do. I think we should re-sign Maddox. I think we should re-sign Thomas Harper. Those are guys that helped us down the road during those injuries and played well in their stead, but they both play the same position. That's why it was a rotational thing. It took the 2 of them. I mean, let's be real. We're not in as bad a place as everybody makes us out to be. I think we need an offensive tackle because the report came out that if Decker doesn't retire, we're going to cut him after June 1st anyways. Brad Holmes addressed it in his presser, saying we're not going to make the same mistake as we did with Ragdoll. So I don't know whether it'll be a vet or a draft prospect, but we're going one way or the other to replace left tackle. And don't say switching Penei Sewell, because Penei Sewell has already vehemently denied wanting to move to left tackle. He's one of the best right tackles in the league. He's given up 3 sacks in his career at right tackle. Yes, one of them was to Micah Parsons. Oh my. You're not talking about a slouch. I don't want a free agent if we let Montgomery go. I want us to draft his replacement. I've said this vehemently. 2 guys. There's one you could take in early day 3. You might have to trade into the 3rd round for, and that's Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas. Or you wait till late and you take Chip Trayanum, the wrecking back that I talked about a couple weeks ago. Brian Pettit, good to see you, brother. I love both of those prospects. There's even Adam Randall out of Clemson, who's also a big power back, more of a north and south runner. All 3 of the guys I named in this draft process, they are north and south runners. They run to contact. They run through contact. All of them averaged over 5 yards per carry. I think all of them would be a good fit. Fantastic. Just talking football. I love talking football. I already talked about the Olympics. The other thing about the Olympics we have to do is give props to the U.S. women's hockey team, outscoring opponents 35-1 during this run with 5 shutouts, an Olympic record. I think on an average, they're outshooting opponents 28-4. How is a team supposed to beat that? Hey, good to see you, Will. So There's three guys that are north-south runners that I love in this draft, like I said, and I'm going to rank them in order. It's Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas, Adam Randall out of Clemson, and Chip Trayanum out of Toledo. All of them are the bigger 225 to 230 pound bag. I'm glad it's going well. I seen you said you're going to get into NASCAR talks here pretty soon. That's awesome. Um, Congratulations to MJ and the 23 racing team with Reddick winning the Daytona 500. Rubbing is racing. We lost Robert Duvall yesterday. We lost Reverend Jesse Jackson this morning. Horrible start to 2026 for losing people. And do beat writers not understand what a void year in a contract is? Because I saw that a Detroit beat writer wrote that we voided 2 contracts on Valentine's Day. And my mind was blown that he was this stupid that he didn't understand that the void years were already in the contract. Because he was specifically speaking about Alex Anzalone and DJ Reader. It's one of the reasons why we went up to 10 million over the cap now. Yeah, it's just the start. Let's wait and see who gets cut. Because until the cuts are made, and they have 2 weeks to do it. Everybody has till March 3rd. And then March 11th is the actual free agency period. And March 9th starts the legal tampering period where you can talk to the free agents 2 days prior to signing them. So until March 3rd, nobody's a free agent yet. They're technically all on their teams until the team's re-signing period is done. And the media needs to do a better job of understanding how contracts are written. The reason why it looked like we voided their contracts is because February 11th, the voided contract money hit people's dead cap. It finally hit the salary cap. It's $3 million. We were already 7.5 over. We're at 10.5 over. Oh well. It is what it is. That means Brad has to get busy with restructuring so he can resign people and have money for our draft picks. Yeah, I know. They probably can't afford to. They just re-signed him to that contract last year. March 9th. March 9th. The free agency period starts March 11th. This is the team re-signing period we're in now. This is also the time when teams get to decide their franchise tag. And I don't think I'm wrong in suggesting that either Laporta or Branch should get franchise tags. Whether it's the franchise one or the one that allows teams to negotiate with them. And I mean in a trade situation where they give up draft capital to get them. Because then there isn't dead cap involved. If it's in that particular one, there's the franchise exclusive tag, and then there's just the tag. Personally, I hope they use the franchise exclusive tag. I don't want to lose either player. Hey, Pat, good to see you, brother. Had to finish chewing before I could talk. We all saw that after his ACL tear repair and he came back from rehab, Bradley Chubb is not the same player he was a couple of years ago. I hear you, MDE. Thank you for your support, and that stuff will be mailed within a couple of weeks. I will send you a tracking number as soon as it is. I am leaving. I am going for the combine. I'm leaving on Tuesday. I get there Wednesday. It starts on Thursday. Do I like TJ Parker? I don't even know who TJ Parker is. So I, I I can't give you an answer if I like him or not. It's just there's been a lot of stuff happening all around the world and sports world and everything else, and there's a lot to cover right now. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Uh, that being said, in the Olympics, the U.S. has finally overtaken the third spot. Absolutely, T.J. Hooker was a great show there back in the late '80s, early '90s. He's edge out of Clemson. Oh no, I am not high on any edge or defensive player out of Clemson ever again. Every time they've let me down in the NFL one way or another. So I just I I don't even look at Clemson players for defense. I look at them on offense only because Dabo Sweeney is an offensive coach more than he is a defensive coach. At least that's the way it seems. It seems he does way better with developing offensive players. That being said, we celebrated Valentine's yesterday, and I got a belated Christmas slash Valentine's gift. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Ryan Pettit. There's certain teams you look at for defense, and there's certain teams you don't. Teams that struggle on offense yet win games because their defense holds them in games. Miami, Florida State. Oh, Wendy looks like it's a speed gator. No comment. Oh my goodness, that one took my. You left me speechless for a minute, MDE. That don't happen often. Good job. But thank you again, MDE, for your contribution to the channel. We appreciate it. Um, if anyone wants to make a contribution, contact me. I'll give you my address. Um, or if you have PayPal, contact me. I think I even have a Cash App, so there's that. Because you know, doing this isn't cheap, and I've done it for free for years. And I appreciate the people who've helped me out. MDE, JI, Scott Morganroth has helped me in a way of helping me gain subscribers by posting my articles about the Lions and allowing me to put my YouTube page at the bottom of every article. There's a guy that wants SJB. I still got that picture of the Olympic lady in my head. Amen. Who doesn't? But tomorrow's another day, another chance for all of us to do what's right in our hearts. Instead of making that rude comment to somebody because their opinion differences in yours, say, I respect your opinion and walk away. Don't don't engage. We have that option. Because guess what? Free speech works both ways. If they can say what we want, they want, we can say what we want. But we can also choose not to engage. The First Amendment is not just about free speech. It's supposed to be about peaceful protest and assembly. I don't think anybody understands that there hasn't been a peaceful protest in about 10 years. Amen, brother. And I'm not trying to make this political at all. I'm saying both sides are wrong. One's wrong about how they do it, one's wrong about how they handle it. And I'll leave it at that. You conquer hate with love. instead of yelling, give a hug or a smile. Shake their hand, walk away. The media doesn't help it. They push the divide. It's awful. And as a member of the media, I want to push togetherness instead of divisiveness. Why divide everybody? We can't divide people. That's why I treat people of other teams with respect when they come into the chat. Because guess what? They deserve it. She doesn't have to. Jake Paul's her husband. Lucky bastard. Thank you for the like on Facebook there, MDE. And thank you for being here in the chat. NFL status quo expand partnership for new right renewed gaming license. Yes. It, you know, everybody forgets that all of these sports leagues, they are licensed under sports entertainment, which means anything could be rigged or scripted. And I'm not saying it is, but it can be because it's sports entertainment. The same exact license that professional wrestling has. Let that sink in. And I'm not saying wrestling's fake. I'm just saying. People do get legitimately hurt. People have legitimately died in rings. So there is that. That being said, it's that time of the show where I do what I do for the last half hour. Every show. 3 words that MDE says so eloquently. And I know it takes a minute to get back here, so I'll wait till I see it. There it is. And away we go. All right, we have a trade offer 22 and 55 for 17 and 118. I don't like it. But Francis McGowan is right there. Do I dare go back one and take a Minnesota 5th? I think I will. Hey, they didn't take them. 3 trade offers again. Yeah, I'm not taking any trades. I'm not missing out on them again. Ooh, 53. If there was any of these that gave me extra picks this draft, I would take it. But there isn't. Well, let's do this one. Well, they took a wide receiver, no trade. You know where I'm going. Wow, did he drink? Why'd he fall? I must have left it on PFN. Now that's going back 12 spots and picking up another one after the 155. I think I'm taking it. All right, so let's see. Defensively, edge. Linebacker, Aiden Fisher. Lander Barton went before Aiden Fisher. Cornerback, Preston Todd. I don't think he's a tall wide receiver. Let's look. 6', 200. Not horrible, but I don't want anybody shorter than 6'1" anymore. We've had enough of that. 6'1" and 190. Not bad. TJ Hall, I think, was 6 foot. And Thaddeus Dixon also was 6 foot. Andre Fuller, I believe, is 5'11". Nope, 6'1". Safeties. I like Deshaun Singleton out of Nebraska. I think he's a very good safety. There's not Derek Moore out of Michigan, 6'3", 254, which means he'll translate more to outside linebacker. 6'4", 251, another one that will go more towards Max Llewellyn. Let's take a look at him. 6'5", 255. A lot of small guys here. I think Romello Height is the first one. No, he's a linebacker size too. So we can wait on those. I think I'm going to go Dante Corleone and get the Godfather. Yeah, there went Aiden Fisher. Red Murdoch out of Buffalo. He's another one he's undersized. There's Caleb Alarm 4, another undersized guy out of Oklahoma, another undersized guy. Eric Gentry. Gentry is tall but skinny. There's Bocher. I think he's moving up. If he makes it out of day 2 without being a draft pick, even though he's undersized, it'd be crazy because his pro comp is Alex Anzalone with the instincts of Josie. Can't think of his last name right now. And then of course there's my guy Kendall Daniels. I think we're going to go with the 6'1" guy out of Stephen F. Austin, Charlie Demings. I'll have to do a draft profile on him. Now at 168, I'm going to go ahead and take Tariq Sapp at linebacker. I'm going to go this route again. Trey Zoon fixes all 3 positions on the interior O-line with one fail swoop. Now here's where I get my guy. 6'5", 242. I'll go back to offense. Adam Randall's right there. 6'3" and 233 and an 83.1 on the PFSN running back impact grade. Tight end. I love Riley Nowakowski because he's an avid blocker. He's got good hands and he also plays fullback. So there we go. 9 picks. Francis Mauigoa, Logan Jones, Dante Corleone, Charlie Dennings, Tariq Sapp, Trey Zoon, Kendall Daniels, Adam Randall, and Riley Nowakowski. So there we go. That's it. I'm going to put this one up and let's see what we ended up with as a mock draft review. Oh, that's yesterday. Oh, I did. Okay. All right. We ended up with Ransom Mauigoa at 18, which I doubt he falls there. He usually goes in the top 10 every time. Logan Jones out of Iowa. I just think he's the perfect fit for this offense. Dante Corleone, adding depth to the defensive tackle room. Charlie Demings, adding a nice, tall, quick wide receiver. Because I don't think we bring back Amik Robertson. Tariq Sapp, edge out of Florida, 6'3" and 275. Trey Zoon, the guard, center / left tackle out of Texas A&M. Kendall Daniels, the 6'5" linebacker out of Oklahoma. Adam Randall out of Clemson, and Riley Nowakowski. Oh, God. I just saw your comment there. I will send Brand H a signed photo of the Speed Skater girl plus a $30 gift card to Little Caesars if he indeed follows that blueprint. I just think offensive tackle and offensive center are the 2 most important positions on this roster to fill. I'm not saying that edge isn't important. I don't want anyone to feel that way. I think Gabe Jacobs, Tariq Sapp, Jamon Tapp, they're all 6'3" and 270 plus pounds. They fit what we need to have opposite in rotation on the other side of Hutch because you need more of a power back than another speed back. AQM might actually be more beneficial in rotation, allowing Hutch to play less and keeping him fresher. There's a reason why they all disappeared in the middle of the thing, and that was the same time that DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil quit playing good at the interior position. Talik Williams, when he was on the field, teams averaged 2.7 yards per carry against us. When he was off the field, they averaged 4.7. That's a 2-yard increase. That tells you right there that DJ Reader was not the same guy he was a couple of years ago. And it's why I don't want him back this year. Roy Lopez and Talik Williams was very productive together when they would let both of those guys rest. I think Aleem McNeil will improve again with another off season of working out and getting back to playing shape. I think we brought him back too soon. He flashed early and then fizzled out just as quick as he flashed in that Buccaneers game. That was the only game he collapsed the pocket. That was the only game he got a sack. In the year before, he had 5.5 sacks, most of them coming while Hutch was off the roster until he got hurt. So don't forget that Aleem McNeil does know how to collapse a pocket. He does know how to get penetration from the defensive tackle position. And Talik Williams is a space eater. He takes up double bodies. And Dante Corleone is the same type of player with pass rush ability because he has a quicker first step. He has a sub 5 second 40 for a defensive tackle at 320 pounds when he's 6'1". That's huge. Explosive first step with very strong arm. Good hand pop at the point of impact, which allows him to shake off double team and collapse pocket. He needs to work on his run defending better. But guess what? If he's that type of player, anytime Aleem McNeil isn't playing, you can sub him in. And you also got Roy Lopez to spell in at the same time. I want us to be smart this year, this offseason. Don't just go for the big name in free agency. And I know a lot of us want a big name. I get it. But we have a lot of mouths to feed for extensions coming up. And I'm not trying to say everybody forgets that the Rams did a ton of extensions with players they drafted already before they got Jalen Ramsey, before they got Von Miller, before they got OBJ, before they got Leonard Floyd. In the year that they already traded in the preseason for Matthew Stafford. So I just want to throw that out there that they had to add to that roster to win that Super Bowl. There's a reason for it. 80% of that team was drafted. Everybody forgets that part. I don't want us to become short-sighted and look at the right here and now when you got to think about the future. And guess what? 80% of that team is still drafted in LA. Les Snead has done a good job. He gave credit to Brad Holmes when they won that Super Bowl about that roster being scouted and built by him on what he suggested to Les Snead. After they drafted Jared Goff at 1, they didn't have a first-round pick till they got Jared Verse. So many people forget that. Because they traded for 5 guys. 5 guys. So 2024 was their first round draft pick in forever. I'm just trying to make that sink in for everybody that doesn't get it. The only reason why we didn't have 2 first rounds in 2021, they didn't have a 2021 first round draft pick. It belonged to the team that they got Jalen Ramsey from. I just, the fact that people don't realize that it's more than just who you get in free agency that makes a difference. It's also who you acquire in trade. And that's what I want to see this year, is us get aggressive at the trade deadline. If they change it to where they're able to go 5 years out in the first for picks going forward, you watch. We will be more aggressive because they're going to mortgage the future down the road to make a Super Bowl contender now. And I think that's where Brad Holmes is going. But as always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to me daily. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because I like growing the entire network, just not my channel. This has been another episode of Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B, and we are out.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.